This is the Wrestling for Life Network. This is another live stream tonight. It is TNA Impact, the go home show from Sunday's TNA Slammiversary. The Hardys will be kicking off tonight's show. We got some knockouts action tonight. The Elegance brand is in action. We got a championship summit or whatever between Nick Nemeth and Mike Santana. We got a bunch of TNA news to talk about. So let's get into it. Like I said, this is the Wrestling for Life Network. This is Thursday. Tonight, we are here for the go-home show for Slammiversary and TNA Impact. Some of the knockouts are in action tonight. Ash by Elegance will be taking on Mara Sade. We got some endings of feuds, beginnings of feuds. We just got a lot of stuff going on tonight with TNA and with all the TNA news. We got to talk about that as well. I am not here alone, but if you don't know who I am Anthony by Elegance, and that is Big Nick.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Wrestling for Life Network proudly brings to you its tag stream champions of the world, the man who puts the T, and especially there's a lot of that going around lately with TNA. Ringsider Anthony, I am Big Nick. But yes, the go-home show, every show this week so far has been a go-home show. And this is the go-home for Slammiversary, for TNA's biggest show of the year, and definitely I think has the most people talking about it for one way or another because of all of the news, the rumors, the releases, every bit of buzz going around TNA right now. Like the last week's episode, I know you dropped it in our group chat, jumped like 55K.
Yeah, I mean, it was a huge jump in ratings for TNA last week. I believe the prior week's episode was 191,000 viewers tuned in. This past week's episode was 255. So a huge jump for TNA in the ratings. It's just, you know, there's negative and positive buzz about TNA right now. A lot of people are going in, especially the TNA faithfuls, are going into Slammiversary hoping for a change with Tommy Dreamer not being gone. I mean, we got a lot to talk about with Tommy Dreamer and some of his comments over the past couple of days, but it's buzz. Is mixed buzz, but there's at least buzz going into Slammiversary.
Yeah, but I also would want to caution everybody. I don't think this is going to be an overnight turnaround. I think that they've tried to do that before, and it's led them into worse pitfalls and everything because they try and rush through something. I think that they're going to slowly start to see the shift in everything between creative, between stories, what have you. Of speaking of things that, you know, Tommy said, oh, well, M by Elegance would be the top of, you know, the knockouts division if I was, you know, in charge and had a say in who got pushed. And then instantly everybody's coming back with, no, Tommy, you did have say in who got pushed and everything. You did. So let's not try and act like you didn't have control.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like he acted like someone above him. I'm just gonna use TKO, but like someone above him, like TKO, was making the final
Carlos
decision.
Came down out of his chair and just said, no.
Yeah, I would say either Carlos or Anthem. Anthem is the parent company for TNA, so you know, one of those two. But it was like you had multiple opportunities to make contenders, to make new top stars, and you didn't do that. I mean, if like, say for instance, if he was saying M by Elegance was going to be the top star for TNA for the Knockouts division by the beginning of 2027, you literally have not did anything with her over the past year to make it even seem like you were making steps to make her that Knockouts champion and that top contender for the Knockouts division. So like, you needed to go, and I'm not trying to be mean, but you needed to go, and we needed some change.
Yeah, well, and now you have stories coming out of, well, the TNA locker room's already kind of on an uptick, and, you know, the vibe backstage is already improved now that Tommy's gone.
Yeah, I've seen that. I mean, even I watched Boots to Boots. That's Steve Macklin and Deanna Perrazzo's podcast, and Steve Macklin kind of went into detail of, you know, his departure from TNA, and he was like, he made the decision to ask for his release because he felt like the last match he had with Mike Santana was great and a great send-off. He basically said that, Mike Santana's first match back was against him, and then his last match in TNA, was against him. He said, and it was better than anything that I'm using Tommy Dreamer's name because he was the head of the creative, but he basically said it was better than anything Tommy Dreamer was going to let me do at Slammiversary.
Well, and I know we got to say hi to the people because we don't have a ton of time before the show kicks off, but Almighty pop out here with a perfect comment tying into this of, oh man, come on guys, let's not blame it all on Tommy. What do we say if, parentheses, I hope not, nothing changes? Very valid, very valid. I don't perceive this to end up like a Road Dogg situation. Matter of fact, I think Road Dogg's the one that we need in this situation. But it's not going to be one of those like Road Dogg gets kicked out of SmackDown and then we didn't realize how good, or leaves SmackDown, leaves WWE, and we don't realize how good we had it because now SmackDown kind of had that part where it fell off.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm not trying to put the blame all on Tommy, but when he begins to talk and things don't line up to what was done on TV, like him talking about the whole Mike Santana not winning the title last year at Slammiversary when we all thought it was going to happen. And I sat on this channel and defended the booking, was like, I think they got something better. And then the better was Bound for Glory, but then you took 4 weeks off. And then he dropped the title to Frankie Kazarian on the first episode of TNA Impact. You can't tell me that wasn't Tommy. Like, you cannot tell me that wasn't Tommy. And then he kind of said some things about it today or the other day, and people came out, debunking everything he said.
Yeah, trust me, my vocal cords still remember being here crashing out at the fact that Frankie Kazarian just beat Mike Santana for the world title. But yeah, Tommy doesn't get no splatter on himself with this. He was the chef in the kitchen. And like you said before, last thing before we go into the chat, is who above him is telling him no? Is it Anthem? Is it Carlos? Is it TKO? I don't think he really had someone that was telling him no.
Yeah, there wasn't really anybody from my understanding that was telling him no. And Carlos, like, he's not a booker. He's not, even though like, what is his name? The old president of TNA, Scott D'Amore. Scott D'Amore was the president and could book the show. Like, he has experience. Carlos doesn't have experience. He has experience on the business side of things and trying to make things grow, but being a booker, that's not something that Carlos has.
But speaking of people who got experience, the top three from last night: Spanish G, and D Skills. I like that Spaz is still always up there because of the super chats and everything. So someone knocked him off with that, but then we got all the new names underneath them. Everybody's duking it out for 2 and 3 right now. But again, folks, those are your points in the chat. The more you chat, the more you super chat, the more you super sticker everything gets you your points, and we do try and click on as many comments as we can. I know we talk a lot, but there's a lot of TNA news going on. We still haven't even talked about half of it.
Right.
But yeah, there's your top three. Should we start off out here with Zach? National Strawberry Parfait. Everybody like a parfait. Everybody love a parfait.
Everyone loves those. Everyone loves those. So you got to get one of those.
There you go. Isaac already. Both of these 7:02 and 7:10 a.m. Hard out, early out in these streets out here, like a GameStop on Black Friday.
Right? I was still asleep. Shoot.
I was already through a couple hours of work. But Ronan, I see you. The TNA Go Home show before Slammiversary is almost here. Yes. I want to watch some wrestling. We got all the wrestling last night with 8 matches on AEW. We got all the wrestling.
That's something we could talk about on a commercial break.
Fair enough. I wasn't sure you had an opinion, sir. But hey, Wrestling for Life buddies, Eric, what up? Can't wait for the big 54 in a few days. Happy early birthday again, sir. As well as Slammiversary, huge weekend in pro wrestling out there. Of everybody that's out there poo-pooing and foo-fooing of wrestling in 2026 down bad. We about to eat really fucking good on this weekend. We've got 4 pay-per-views that are stacked across. I would walk back stacked, but have a lot of implications, have some very much interest behind them going throughout that whole weekend across multiple shows, multiple brands.
Yeah, a lot of you got a lot of cards that have potential. We just don't know how the potential will play out until the cards get in place and the shows start. So yeah, there's a lot of wrestling out there this weekend, and you still got AAA. Later on that night, Saturday. If you're watching MLW like I am a little bit, you got MLW. There's just a whole lot of
There's
wrestling.
GCW cards on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, so it's crazy. It's a crazy weekend.
We don't have enough eyeballs to watch this much wrestling, but also
Right.
go Team USA tonight against Turkey in the World Cup. There you go. Shout out. No Canada here because no KJ. Sean Reed, what up? TNA will not go anywhere until it's live non-tape show every week and on at 8 p.m. time slot. What they are doing now just ain't working, in my opinion. So you're saying they should switch it all the way up to – that's bold. That's kind of what I initially thought they were going to be. And then – this kind of amalgamation, is the later time slot an issue still? Do you think?
I think it might be an issue with grabbing new fans. I do think that's an issue. I don't have a problem with the show being recorded. I mean, up until Rebellion, the shows were hitting, and then after Rebellion, it's just like they had no plan to continue booking. Right. So I don't have a problem with the shows not being live. Spoilers are not really coming out. But yeah, I think if they got to an 8 p.m. time slot, I think it will help them grow more viewers. And I only defended the 9 p.m. time slot. I know we got a couple of minutes left, but I only defended the 9 p.m. time slot because I thought they would have like an AMC show lead into to TNA to give it a boost in ratings, but they haven't done that. It's been random movies. So
yeah, which again, you just watch, like I'm getting the end, I'm getting Equalizer too. I just, I'm done with this. Do I want to stay around and watch some, TNA wrestling?
Exactly.
But Sean reminding everybody, smash that like button. Absolutely. We're ever so close. We're on the precipice, big word, big vocab word of the day, of 11K subscribers out there. So let's see if we can cross, especially with this weekend coming up. Let's see if we can cross that line and push it towards 12.
Absolutely.
Simone, Sean, I'd rather watch some Austin Powers. You got to watch at least the fourth one. If they're coming back.
Oh, okay.
Hey, what up? Daniel Berry, Sports Highlights. What up? Samuel, my favorite nemesis. What up, my guy? It's so funny because you always call me Corporate Nick and everything, but he's got a Bills flag behind him, so I can't help but root for the guy.
Right.
Z-Man Scar, what up? The El Juggalo, whoop whoop. Shout out of I've been in and out with my whole watching lunacy before I watched TNA since Stranglemania. I'll admit that since WrestleMania weekend, I've been a little bit in and out with my JCW watching, but it's still, that's how much wrestling is still out there. JCW and Vince Russo and Violent J still are getting involved in pro wrestling.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much to consume, so much out there. It's crazy. It's crazy to keep up. It really is. It's hard to keep up, I should say.
Right, Boston. I see you. Oh, Samuel got fighting words for you. TNA is terrible.
I mean, currently right now, I'm not going to argue that. It's not the best at all. Hopefully we get some change around here with between Slammiversary and what is it, Lockdown? I think Lockdown is next in August. So
yeah, we got do you think it's the matches? Is it there's no stories going into anything? Like what you say is the big key issue?
It's definitely not the matches. I feel like at least with the men, with the guys, I mean, the matches hit. Even Steve Macklin, I believe he said on Boots to Boots, he was like, regardless of the booking, that locker room is going to show if it makes Slammiversary better just because of the matches. So it's definitely not the matches. It's the lacking of the stories. Like I usually can sit on the stream and tell you how we got to a certain match. I really can't tell you that right now with any of the matches going on at Slammiversary, with the exception of the world title and the knockouts title. Everywhere else, I can't tell you because it feels like it's been thrown together.
And we might be adding more titles, but we'll talk about that.
Right.
Should be getting the show starting any minute. I got to read through some of these real quick. Michael Jackson, Shrek, Shimona. Spaz with a $5 super chat. Appreciate you. I heard Nick's favorite Evolve's brand new MVP, Thakita Lions, will be at Slammiversary. No. Oh,
I did not hear
would
that.
be a thing?
I did not hear that at all. I haven't heard anything like that. The only name that has popped up, which we haven't talked about yet, is Apollo Crews. So, and it's no need for her to pop up. So,
well, we talked about that before we went live. I don't think we've talked about that on stream.
Yeah, we haven't talked about that on stream.
As I'm getting the kickoff of the show right now, folks, as you can sync up at home of just getting a replay of last week.
Yeah, of the Mike Santana and Casey Navarro stuff.
Right. Me and Nick get into it. Pause. He my guy. I got you, my guy. I got you. Slammiversary preview tonight after Impact. Shout out Spaz. EQ. The wait is over. You'll have to find out what that is on SmackDown tomorrow. Fair enough. No spoilers. We will be here live tomorrow at 7:30 for SmackDown because that's when they're in it. No spoilers. No spoilers.
Yeah, they taped SmackDown this week, right? It was taped on Thursday.
They taped it on a Tuesday. Got the SmackDown going up on a Tuesday.
Okay.
Yes, we will be here live tomorrow at 7:30 for SmackDown, the go home last show before Night of Champions. Again, no spoilers. Yeah, I've been doing my best to try and avoid everything, but no spoilers, no spoilers.
I haven't seen anything surprisingly, so
well, I think your whole feed's TNA, my guy. Let's be honest, your whole feed is TNA.
That is true. That's about 99% true. Yes, my whole feed is basically TNA.
Right. The algorithm don't got rhythm with me. He don't jazz with me. But Solution, what up? Dakota Rice, happy Tuesday. TNA, let's go. The Hardy Boys, hi from Michigan. We got bros all around the world.
Yeah, and the Hardys kicking off tonight's episode of TNA Impact. Got a huge 3-way ladder match at Slammiversary. It's all Hardys country right now.
Well, and we're still kind of getting, the broken Hardys. I mean, I do still have to pull for the righteous out there. Friend of the channel, Vincent.
I'm definitely pulling for the righteous. It's definitely happening. They need to win those tag team titles. I love the system, but we need to move on from the system as well. So please give it to the righteous. That's all I'm asking.
That would be an interesting poll of which, just to see on Twitter, not even saying I agree with everything on it, but which faction needs to go first before last between the system, the Death Riders, and the Bloodline. Which are people most think have been the most played out, the most overdone, the most used up?
Which have people or which have I?
Either way, I thought it would be an interest. I'll ask it to the chat and I'll ask it to you as well. I think that I would have a certain way, and I don't think one of those factions really would fit into that point at this time. But yeah.
For the people, I mean, the online consensus is that the Bloodline needs to go away, right? Mm-hmm. That's what the people are saying. For me, it's a tie. It's a tie between the system and the Death Riders because I can't stand the Death Riders. It's just a waste of my time seeing them on screen. I like the system. I think we just have too much of the system. So I would take it dial back on the system a little bit. The Order 4 should be in the system's place. If I'm going to speak honestly,
I'll give you that.
Order 4 should be in the system's place. But I'm gonna keep it even, and I'm gonna say both the system and the Death Riders.
See, to me, the Bloodline shouldn't be even in that conversation. But I know, like you said, if you were on Twitter would tell you otherwise.
Right.
I'm kind of more over the system than I am the Death Riders. The Death Riders, I'm still kind of interested. Maybe we can do something with Claudio. I kind of do like Shafir. I wish she didn't lose to Harley, but it was set up because she was dressed like Supergirl. But I still think there's something left still with the Death Riders. The system is just a carcass, respectfully, at this point.
Yeah, I mean, after they kicked out Moose, after JDC left all in
Cedric's
January,
been the best thing. Yeah. Cedric and Bear Bronson. It's the Dark State conundrum with me.
Yeah,
some of their parts are better than the whole.
Yeah, Cedric and Bear Bronson are doing very well. I like Eddie Edwards, but like Eddie Edwards has become the guy which you just rely on more. You just like he's the always there guy. And I like Brian Myers too, but like there's other people out there. There's you got Saint and Sinner that's not being used. You got the Great Hands who are in the Order 4 but really could be used in the tag team division. So
Right.
I can get with you there with saying the system, too.
Fair enough, but I got the Hardys in the ring right now. Matt's still broken. Jeff's kind of just Jeff. Is Jeff the guy that honestly, if you were to say that, hey, one of you two is going to have a broken gimmick later on in your career, Jeff would have been the guy like, well, that's kind of him already. He's just the guy with all the tattoos and the fishnets and the artsy guy and everything.
Right. You would definitely assume Jeff Hardy would take on that role. Now, Jeff Hardy, I think, said within the past couple of days he wants to bring his old theme song back to TNA. But I don't really I'm not trying to be mean, but I don't think he's the best singer. So
you're talking not about like one of those that like we would know like
no, like the
one of those like it's like with Willow. No.
Yeah.
Jeff thinks he's a lot better at shit than he really is, respectfully. Other shit outside of wrestling, he thinks he's a lot better at than he really is.
So
we have been rebroken. The rebrokening has happened.
Rebroken, yeah. He said we'll never be the same after that Wicked Guard match.
Jeff doing the little prop ladder.
Right?
But Ken, what up? Boston, latest odds I've seen for MVP as Allen first. Let's can go and May 4th. Okay.
I got the Righteous coming out now.
Those athletes that don't make the NBA, sign them to TNA. Well, some of them got to, decide they want to do that and everything. You can't just take not everybody's an athlete like Trick Williams that can convert from, one sport to the other, or excuse me, a Braun Breaker that's got lineage.
Exactly.
Righteous out here now. Spaz with a $10 super chat. I got new respect for the guys. I had to put out 3 previews this week, and I got no voice left. Slam preview tonight, live at 11. I got no idea how you guys do as much as you do. Massive love and respect. Respect. You got to do the Booker T voice when he was in TNA. Respect.
I haven't even found time to do a prediction video for TNA. Hopefully I can get it out before Sunday, but tomorrow my time will be focused on Avatar The Last Airbender season 2. So I won't be making any videos then.
Fair enough. So at least I know what will be occupying the misses as well. So thank you for the heads up. But yeah, no, I think it was around like WrestleMania this year is where we both, like me and KJ both kind of started to like feel it, and the vocal cords got a little rough. There was just so much throughout like weeks. But no, this now feels like, Mania Marathon 2 Electric Boogaloo with this whole weekend. Like, I'm excited because everybody's gunning for the number 1 spot. Everybody has the potential to be the show of the weekend or the worst of the weekend, respectfully.
Yeah. And I mean, I've already seen people online talk about how they don't have access to the CW and can't watch, Great American Bash. Kind of feel bad for them. So yeah, I mean, it's everybody has to kind of prove themselves this weekend. They really do. And here goes the system.
In the dog days of summer, pun intended, I guess. But Curmudgeon, what up? Acknowledging your tribal chief. Acknowledge your tribal stream. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. It's free. It costs you nothing, but it means the world to us. And it helps, appease algorithm out there. Mike Rouse out here. USA is about to start. You let us know, my guy, what the score is out there, because I already got my focus on TNA. But wait a minute. The knee pads out here heavy.
This segment is not doing anything for me. Like when the Hardys were talking, I was okay. And then the Righteous, kind of piggybacked off of what they said, but like I don't know.
But but it's the system coming out here, but does the tag champs feel like the odd man out in this? Like the Hardys and the Righteous have been involved in this feud. It feels like the system's here just to have the titles involved, just to get them off of them.
Yeah, it's definitely, they feel like the third team out, because like you said, this has been the Righteous, this has been the Hardys, and really I feel like the Hardys should have lost the titles to the Righteous a couple of months ago, but for some reason they decided to give it to the system. Again, I'm gonna just be blunt. That sounds like something Tommy Dreamer would do, because you got two top tag teams feuding. One of them is the tag team champions. Like you have your feud right there. So why give it to the system? And they haven't done anything with them,
Right. And then Sam, pause, vocal cords, Nick. Really? No, you pause. That's the medical term. That's what they're called. I didn't make the name for them. That's what they're called. Spaz, Canada 5, Sweden 7. 99% of all U.S. households can get CW Network with an over-the-air antenna. There you go. Life
true.
hacks. Wrestling hacks true. With C Money. Yeah. As hell's broken loose out here.
Ooh. Now we're picking up that we got a little bit of a brawl here.
Well, now we were going to get the ladder because we had the mysterious ladder. Oh, we can't find the ladder. Where's the ladder? There's the ladder.
Find the ladder. Oh, there's the ladder.
Because remember, we had the mystery ladder last week.
Yeah, we had the ladder set up at the ramp, and the Righteous stood on top of it.
And then it teleported into the ring.
Right.
Oh, wild ladder, a stray ladder. But Mike out here, MDB is MIA. Dufresne, search party at 2. Dufresne.
He definitely is MIA tonight.
Brandon Bean, what's up, y'all? What's up,
What's up, Brandon?
Devon just coming in here to say what's up. Also, Sap is in my mentions again, wanting to fight. All I said was that he's an idiot if he thinks no one in AEW has creative control. Good old Sappy's out there. Good to slide into a DM. Jeff's on top of a ladder.
Jeff is on top. It looked like he was about to jump off.
Delete. Are the Hardys just going to win it because Hardys, news, headlines, over guys, top team?
I have that slight feeling that they would give it back to the Hardys because, like you say, top guys, headlines, everything you just said. Yeah, absolutely correct. So I have that in the back of my mind that could happen this weekend as well. Will I be upset? No, but I just would love the Righteous to take it. If anybody could take it except the system, I guess I'll say it like that.
We've been there before of anybody but these guys. I watch NXT on the antenna. There you go. Well, up next. Your match. What should be your main event of the evening?
Right. Ash, after this, I'm gone. I'm going to let Nick handle the rest of the stream.
No, you're not. You didn't oversleep this time, my guy. You can take your pause afterwards if you need to, but no, you ain't just gone.
But yes, we got Ash by Elegance taking on Mara Sade tonight. So, and that's up next after the commercial break here.
Right. Spaz with the $5 again. What's your most anticipated match from each card this weekend? I got to say Ultimate X, Kendall versus Lola, Cody, Sammy, Gunther. No. Do you want to go first? Do you want me to?
I can go first. So, from Slammiversary, I am interested in Ultimate X. So I'll say that I'll agree with Spaz for that. I'm excited for that. For Night of Champions, Liv versus Io Sky. Close second goes to Cody, Sammy, and Gunther. I can't remember it. Is the other world title on the line? Is Roman's title on the line?
Roman's title isn't on the line. There's only the one title match.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. So yeah, definitely Io and Liv. I'm more interested the outcome because like what happens if Liv wins? Does she challenge Rhea? So that's kind of why I'm really excited for that. For what was the other one? What's the other one?
So you have Slammiversary, Great American Bash.
Great American Bash and okay, so for the AEW show for Forbidden Door. I know y'all gonna hate me for this, but I kind of am looking forward to Mercedes Moné and Maya World. Because
I'm fully with you. That was my match.
Okay. Because I watched the stream last night,
but everything else feels like I kind of know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And I wonder if they're going to have been around the world and Maya World's been on this kind of heater because of unfortunately tragic family issues.
Yeah, and I mean the match she had with Athena on Saturday, I watched it, live. My God, they put on a match in that main event of Collision. So if she can replicate that with Mercedes Moné, which this go around of Mercedes Moné, I'm actually liking. I think you've even said that on stream a couple of times that you're liking this go around of Mercedes Moné. If they can put on a similar caliber match to Collision or better, I'm here for it. Now for the last show, Great American Bash, and I'll let you go.
Right.
I don't know any of the matches because I haven't really been watching NXT. So
you've got Nakamura versus Tony D'Angelo. I'm doing this all first, all off the top. You have Dion versus Saquon. You have oh Christ, now I'm gonna have to look up the rest of the card. Oh, you have Tristan Angels versus Shiloh Hill. But no, I was going to say that I very much agree with you on I like this new Mercedes Moné. Kind of came back with the thickness after losing all the belts and everything. Yeah. And I'm surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if Tony does the smart thing and ride the hot hand with Maya World. Shout out Nixon Newell, Tegan Knox, and her significant other for thinking they were too good for Collision or whatever it was. That ended up with Hyann and Maya World getting a couple bookings out there, and now we've got Maya World out there on a pay-per-view.
Right.
But so your card for Great American Bash: Lola Vice versus Kendall Gray, NXT Women's Championship; Tony D'Angelo versus Naraku, NXT Men's Championship. That's the match I'm most interested in, especially after facial burns. Miles Bourne versus Tavion Heights, North American title; Ren Sinclair versus Ariana Grace, your favorite women's wrestler, for the Women's Speed Championship; Dion versus Saquon. Actually, I'm tied with Tony and Saquon. Saquon, to me, his promo this week on NXT showed fully of how talented he is, and I'm waiting for him to be a breakout and at some point a future NXT World Champion. Calling it now.
Yeah. I know Boston has really liked Tony D'Angelo's reign as NXT champion, so maybe that match would be really good. He's going up against, I don't know his NXT name, but it's Evil, right?
Yes, and this week he sat there and handed Tony the contract to sign, and I'm a wizard, Larry, and Flame shot out of the contract and burned up Tony, who took him out, Kane style at the end of the match.
Hold on, they have added the Great Hands to the ladder match at Slammiversary.
Interesting.
Now there's the case of they could walk out with the majority of the gold. They have the international title. They could have the tag team titles. I kind of like that decision. Something Daria actually did right for the first time.
There you go. I've got Iceman out here, but also still on Great American Bash: Zarya versus Tatum for the NXT Women's North American title. And like I said, Shiloh Hill versus Tristan Andrews. So 7 matches on Great American Bash. Good show. And this is about the sweet spot of where I think wrestling pay-per-view should kind of sit.
Yeah. I agree with you there. So I do want you to tell me, answer your part of the question, because I gave mine, your most anticipated matches.
So for Slammiversary, I think it's the Ultimate X. Actually, I'm almost could even say with Ali versus who is it that returns, who shows up for that title. And so Great American Bash already said mine. Forbidden Door already said mine. Night of Champions is where everybody forgets about Oba versus Jay. If Jay Uso wins, the internet's gonna burn down. Twitter's gonna be on lockdown out there. That's your one shot. Bam!
Yeah, the reason why I forgot about it was because Jay was in it. But yes, absolutely. That is
if Oba wins, then great. We're going on to SummerSlam. Roman versus Oba. Let the fucking parade start. If Brock shows up and gets involved, crash out, half crash out, because if Brock shows up and gets involved, then most likely Jey Uso wins. And Jey Uso winning, as much as I don't think it's as big of an issue, I think it's the wrong creative decision. I think it's a weird way to try and get out of it. But you're going to see Twitter just crash out if that thing goes one way.
I might even crash out. Like, I'm not like, I like Jay as a tag team wrestler. Yes, I can say I did get behind him, becoming a singles wrestler. When I started to turn a little bit was when he won the Royal Rumble. Now, I was happy that he won the Royal Rumble because he eliminated John Cena, and I didn't want him to win the Royal Rumble, but then John Cena wound up winning the Elimination Chamber. So like it didn't help. But
Anthony, known hater of everyone, likes this guy. I hate
exactly. So, but I wasn't a fan of his match against Gunther at WrestleMania. I wasn't really a fan of the title run. So like I probably would have a crash out, to be honest. It wouldn't be like a big crash out, but I would be like, what is this company doing? Why is he king of the ring? And this is stupid.
If Jey Uso wins, Jey Uso cannot beat Oba clean. And you would have to have Brock interfere and cost Oba, then you do Brock Oba at SummerSlam. I still think there's an outside chance he could do both Brock and Roman in the same 2 nights. But could you not get potentially Jey Uso versus Sami Zayn as a match on a SummerSlam? Doesn't have to be the main event. It could be the opener for night 1 of SummerSlam. Is Jey Uso versus
Sami Zayn?
Jey Uso versus Sami Zayn.
I don't want Sami Zayn to hold the title. So you're thinking Sami Zayn wins?
The last real nice guy?
I don't want to see that happen. That might be a bigger crash out than Jey Uso winning if he wins the title. While we're talking about crashing out, Ash is over here crashing out about being called a mark.
Well, wasn't she the one? What the fuck is this? Respectfully, screams Tommy. We had the Black Cats and Voodoo Dolls. I'm still waiting for Christian to show up in the chat because it very much fits him with the fucking.
She is going through like a fit right now. I think Ronan is right. She's having a mental breakdown. Wait, she's leaving?
So she's leaving. So am my elegance, Tommy Dreamer's favorite wrestler, about to take on Mara Sade.
She's not even in wrestling gear.
Is she not, though? They look like they're basically in the same gear. Oh, if it couldn't get worse, it just did. Elena Black, lay him back.
Why?
Mara Sade should be out here competing for your Knockouts title. We haven't even talked about the whole idea of them potentially adding a new women's mid-card title, which, spoiler alert, hasn't worked in any fucking company right now, respectfully. And also, you have to figure out your Knockouts title, and you have to figure out your Knockouts tag title division. Why are we trying to add more shit when we can't?
And the tag team titles haven't been defended since February.
Right, that's the thing. So, I can't figure out the basics. So what should I do? Add some more.
Right. That's why I basically said in my tweet, like, I want to see how this goes. But like, are they on the heels of adding more knockouts? Are Are they on the heels of adding more knockouts tag teams? I don't know. That's why I just don't want to shoot anything down right away. I just want to see. Let's see how this goes. I say that because we've gotten rid of Say that again.
How much shakeup is too much shakeup, though? Like, you've released so many people, you've had so many talent leave, whether one reason or another. You've had the shakeup in creative. Settle your shit out first a little bit before you start doing extra shit.
And I agree with that. But I'm going to say we've lost 4 knockouts, right? I'm sorry. I don't think Steph D. Lander is nowhere near good as she claims she thinks she is. To me, that's not a loss to the knockouts division. Her match with I've said it on the channel. Her match with Jordan Grace before she got injured was not good at all. She barely wrestled before then. Like, that was not a loss to the knockouts division. Nobody was even talking about Steph D. Lander when she was injured.
I like Steph. I'm not going to fight you on that, though. I'm going to let you have that because we still got action going.
But we finally got the match started after the whole freak out, by Ash by Elegance.
Well, has the bell actually rung or anything on this?
I believe it has. I believe the bell has rung.
So we officially now, instead of Ash by... Now I just got the bell ringing as an indie out here in her nightie. Is that coming to the merch store soon up there? Just the Knockouts jersey nightgown?
That's kind of an ugly jersey too. If it that's kind of an ugly. It feels like
Elena Black just stood out here. What the? Honestly, how do you feel the Knockouts compare across women's wrestling divisions right now?
They are right now the weakest division, and it's
really
they are the weakest division. I feel. I can, off the top of my head, like from last year, I can just name matches that I thought were very, very good from the Knockouts division, 4 to 5 stars. Right now, I can't name you one this year outside of and it wasn't a full knockouts match, but Lei Ying Lee versus Zarya from Slammiversary was really good.
Right.
And then I did like Danny Luna, Ariana Grace, and Lei Ying Lee at Sacrifice. That was fun.
As Elena Black now DQs and gives Mara Sade the win.
Yeah.
But now we've got all women king fighting. And what the?
I feel like she made that jersey.
I feel
like she made
crafted out there.
Yeah. This is not good. I'm gonna just be honest. This is not good.
It's broken down, folks, in more ways.
I kind of wish they would have let Mara Sade and M by Elegance have an actual match, because I know M by Elegance can go, and we've seen it.
So now you've got, what the fuck was Ali's fast slow walk there? How are you trying to walk fast and slow at the same time? But even then, I think Ash by Elegance's whole break that happened before that was a bit much. This was so,
and I thought we were
Divas era.
I thought we were past that, because the feud that she had with Mickie James and her crew was about her being called a mark, and they won the match, the Elegance brand, if I can remember correctly. So that was technically done. So why are we running I Am Not a Mark back again? Something that your favorite friend Tommy Dreamer put together.
You're not my friend. Don't you put those accusations on me. Almighty Pop, what am I watching? I'm sorry, Anthony. I'm really trying for you, my guy. No, this is how we're unbiased, we're uncut, we're unfiltered, and everything. We'll talk smack across the board and everything. We'll admit when a spade's a spade. When it ain't good, It ain't good.
And Almighty Pop, I feel like I don't see you often, but if you've been here the past couple of weeks, I have been messing on TNA. As much as I love the company, I think one episode I gave it a 5. So, you guys don't have to apologize to me.
Give it a better rating than you.
Exactly. You guys don't have to apologize to me expressing your opinion. It's not going to offend me, but TNA just has been sucking over the past couple of weeks. And I love the Elegance brand.
But they're used to certain people online that get all up in their feelings, that can't have a discussion, that aren't worthwhile having a talking point with out there, that can admit where there might be some issues in the company that they love. And that's what we do over here. We're fully fine with admitting there's flaws all the way around.
Yeah.
But how can we fix them?
Yeah,
Bob the Builder out here. Can we fix it?
I think
we can.
Not Bob the Builder. I haven't heard that in a long time. But yeah, I mean, and that's why TNA is doing the clean sweep. They're getting rid of everybody. They're bringing in some new people. They're trying to change it, right? But the change won't happen until after Slammiversary, because this, all of this is Tommy Dreamer's stuff, right? Because it's pre-tape.
This is the last of the tapings.
Yeah, this is the last of the Mohicans.
Whoa, now movie reference, unexpected from you, or did you even know you just made a movie reference?
I don't think you got to remind me what movie it was though, because I can't remember.
Last of the Mohicans. You name drop Last of the Mohicans with fucking Kevin Costner.
I have seen that movie. Yes.
There you go.
Yes. Sometimes I just be forgetting the movie reference, but I didn't know Mohicans was in the title because
this is how you know we just built with it. We built different out here. We just do it accidentally. Other people try to do what we do, but we do what we do because other people can't do what we do.
Right. Absolutely.
Wrestle rants, God, shaking my fucking head. Trash by elegance is so awful. Dana Brooke is the most cringe woman ever in the business of professional wrestling.
I feel like we got to study like the downfall. I feel like the downfall of like how the Elegance brand was perceived at one point was Mr. Elegance. Because I mean, like last year,
I can tell you when it started, when the necrosis started. It's when she stepped away for whatever reason it is.
Yes,
I'm sorry, but that's when she stepped away.
No, that's it. You're absolutely right, because before then she was putting on some great matches.
I'm really worried with Toni Storm. Toni Storm steps away. Right. We don't know why.
The storylines for her were great. I mean, she had that one storyline with Jordynne Grace where she was actually supposed to win the title at Slammiversary. I mean, Ash was doing really good, but I think you're right. Is when she had to relinquish the title and step away for some undisclosed reason that we don't know yet. So yeah, absolutely.
With this, that wasn't like, I'm glad that she's okay from whatever the issue was, but I think I'm worried we're going to see it with Toni Storm, with her stepping away sporadically out of nowhere. Hopefully she's okay. We saw it with like the Vision getting banged up and bruised up so much that once so much of your load-bearing talent in a feud, in a story, in a faction, in an angle goes away, then it starts the necrosis, it starts the rotting from the inside a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. I definitely agree with you.
But Julie, and I see you, we're only a few weeks away from the WWE no competes expiring. There's an outside chance, and hear me good, of Joe Gacy is going to show up in GCW. There's very much teasing of, so Atticus Cogar is right now your current GCW champion. Hook just showed up in GCW and is, I think, actually about to take on Cogar for the world title at some point soon. But a lot of Cogar's video packages, Vandal 48, have teased of Joe Gacy kind of signs from the smiley face. And he's kind of done like the Wyatt equivalent of start doing his own online kind of little teaser vignettes and everything that are like 30-second videos that might tease something and get people talking. So now that's when you're going to start to see a Dexter Lumis who could show up in TNA. When you're starting to see what a Bo Dallas, what an Apollo Crews, like we teased about before, could do, should be doing.
Yeah, I mean, someone like Dexter Lumis, I feel like is TNA bound. So yeah, we're getting very, very close to that 90-day non-compete clause coming up, and I'm excited to see where some of them go. Aleister Black, like, where does he end up? Does he go back to AEW? I mean, is he TNA now? I don't see him going back to AEW.
I could see him being the guy that if if WWE just decides, nah, you can have that. That ain't even what I'm mad at. Zelina and Malachi go over to TNA and they start to kind of run roughshod over there. I think he could really prosper and really dominate and be like a world champ, especially if Santana leaves over there.
I think that's perfect. I wonder if Zelina Vega goes back to her TNA name, which I believe was Rosita.
When she was part of with Hernandez and Homicide.
Yeah, I'm gonna double check her ring name real quick, but I wonder if she goes back to that. Aleister Black easily is someone you push to the top, like easily.
Well, and TNA loves their spooky gimmicks.
Exactly, and he's that. Spooky. And he's that spooky gimmick. So yeah, she definitely was Rosita in TNA. But yeah, she's that spooky gimmick. So yeah, absolutely. I can see those two heading to TNA.
There you go. Well, I think that AEW Olive Branch is burnt out, but Spaz, and you don't do MLW because you already got Cross there. Right. You don't cross the streams. But Spaz with $5. Can I get a cosign on this? In the next 12 months, the world title picture is Trey Miguel, Leon Slater, and AJ Francis. Stamp that. Your thoughts?
Definitely Trey Miguel, AJ Francis. I would replace Leon Slater with Mustafa Ali, only because we just, and I know I talked about on stream a couple of weeks ago, like we just can't move people out of the company, but we don't know where Leon Slater is going to land. And until we know if he sticks with TNA or not, I just don't want to put him in that picture because we know Mustafa Ali just re-signed and will be sticking around, and I would like to see him in that picture too.
That's exactly who I'd swap out. You swap out Leon with Mustafa, and I'm sold on this.
Yeah.
Guardian, what up? Glad to see you made it out of the apocalypse out there. But Nick, I've been telling y'all, Tony Storm is prego, Lego my ego. That's why Juice came back. He ran out. Oh, well, you've seen the Street Profits out there winning tag titles now after, they got all the babies popping off. But I don't know. I don't want to fully speculate, but I'm just worried that much like we talked about with Ash, when she stepped away, with Tony stepping away, is it going to be as big when she comes back, or is it going to kind of slide off? I think she's talented enough that done well, it can land, but I'm still worried if they can stick it. Pause.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I agree with you. We have to see like what happens, when she does come back. As we got AJ Francis coming out, he's in action tonight. We don't know against who, but he is in action tonight.
Trey just randomly, Paul Albert. Oh, I see. Because Paul was comparing AJ to Albert, but Bash, are you in and out? I need to know now. Huh? What? Sign Samuel Shaw. Well, trust me, I think that Dexter is very much close to once he can sign on the dotted line, he's heading to TNA. They already did the whole vignette of him cutting his dreads, and it was Indy out there doing it. So doing it and doing it and doing it well.
So yeah, absolutely. I think he's all
Manny Lemons is taking on AJ Francis. Anyone got Manny Lemons?
Absolutely not.
I feel like a guy just yelling out on the street. Anybody got Manny Lemons? Come on, give me. I want to buy Manny Lemons.
Like, this is just going to be a quick squash match.
Yeah, but he looks like the guy that is Rex Kwando incarnate. But is this where you starting to kind of rebuild to shift with HA2, where you're starting to put him towards the world title? He just lost to KC, who's going to be in the X Division title match. So is this you kind of wash your hands of him a little bit, you polish him up, you give him some squashes, and you start pivoting him into a new direction?
Yeah, and I know on Sunday that I believe he faces Elijah too. So that should be a really fun match. I was there for the one they had back in March and at the Atlanta taping. So that's gonna be a fun match. But yeah, this may be where you position him to potentially win the title, be in that title picture. I forgot about Elijah too. That's someone you can put in that main event scene too.
Well, and it's so funny because with now what they've done with the cease and desist and everything, he might have to call himself Elijah too to be able to come out to the ring.
Right.
Everything. He doesn't own the name Elijah anymore. He's just Elijah too.
Right.
But restaurant spot on Nick when Ash left and came back. I don't know what the fuck happened. But that's when the garbage cringy turn off my TV segments matches was born. Yeah, that's the birth. The rock came from the inside. The call came from inside the house.
Yeah. The last match that I really liked with the Elegance brand, Ash wasn't involved, but it was right after Bound for Glory. I think it was the episode of TNA after Bound for Glory, where they won the TNA tag team titles, the knockout tag team titles.
Fair enough. I was just trying to go with shaky ass like AJ Francis. Walked all of 3 steps and was weeble and wobbling the whole way through. Oh my God, please stay upright.
Weeble wobble.
They weeble and they wobble, but they never fall down.
That was scary. That was scary.
Yeah, but where was I? Somebody had it and it made me laugh. Ronan, Uncle Phil for the win.
Absolutely.
Anthony, break out, Lucille.
Ooh, a spear.
Well, I got him setting up for the most devastating choke slam in pro wrestling.
I think I'm behind you. Let me see if I can.
Oh, choke slam. Are you on Microsoft Edge again?
No, I'm on Google Chrome. I made sure. Now I got the choke slam.
All right, so I'll tap real quick as I got AJ staring down into the camera.
All right, now I got him staring in the camera.
Yeah, bad news, milk chocolate right there.
I think we're okay now.
Staring down into the camera. But Guardian, Rosita died in The Walking Dead. Were you a Walking Dead guy? Since we're talking AMC.
I was until season 7. And then I stopped watching.
I'll give you that.
I stopped watching after that. But then my coworker convinced me to finish because she finished. So I went back and watched 8, 9, and 10. I think it was 11, right? I think it was 11 seasons. So I did finish it out. I did enjoy the later seasons. I think it was just a better binge watch than watching week to week because I was watching week to week. It was like a brother thing. We did that every Sunday night. I also watched Fear the Walking Dead up until season 3. Seasons 1 and 2 of Fear the Walking Dead was good. I'm sorry, and then 3 came around and it was a waste of my time. And I have not went back since to watch it.
Fair enough. As we're getting. I want to answer this.
You got Elijah here
with a bloody cease and desist in his hand. Is it weird that this is a prominent feud in TNA and it's over like cease and desist? It's over like mistaken identity. It's all gimmick infringement, literally.
Yeah, it's a problem when this seems like it feels bigger than your world title, So I agree with you. It definitely is a little weird.
He's lightning on fire. No, as much as I know you're not supposed to like Negan as a character, but I like Jeffrey Dean Morgan's portrayal of the character of Negan. That's about roundabout when I fell off with the tease of like, stay tuned next week to find out whose brains Negan splattered in and everything.
Yeah.
Be back in a month's time. Like I watched a little bit past that and kind of faded out with it. But it's also interesting because I got introduced like middle of the series, like when Morgan, like the episode Clear with Morgan when he finally meets Rick again after losing his mind. Spoiler alerts for anyone that hasn't watched The Walking Dead, which what are you doing? But that's around when I got introduced into The Walking Dead, and then retroactively watched back up into it, and then caught up.
Okay. I got into Walking Dead. They dropped the first 2 seasons on Netflix, and they were just about to start season 3. So I watched 1 and 2 back to back, really good. And then, like, I stayed up on it every week. I was watching every Sunday.
It used to be watch parties. That used to be watch parties.
It was so good. It was so good. And then they wind up, I think I was watching every Sunday because it came on at 9, but then they switched my really good favorite show airing at the same time as The Walking Dead on Sunday. So I had to choose that show over The Walking Dead because that was my show. I loved revenge. But yeah, I really loved The Walking Dead until it got to season 7, I think is where I ended. And then I came back and finished it. Probably right after the finale, of the entire show. I came back and I finished it out.
See, I don't know what this says about me as a fan because I never finished shit of it. It's once I went off the cliff, I just stayed off the cliff. But like, I stuck through wrestling, like through Super Cena eras, through the the dark times, the Miz World Championship reigns and everything. Stuck through wrestling, so I don't even know.
I tend to sometimes, if I really like the show, and they just hit like a dead season, a dead couple of seasons, and I stop watching, I will eventually come back. And then I'll power through those seasons and finish it out. One example was Dexter. Dexter seasons 1 through 5 was excellent. I couldn't stand season 6, and it took me like 3 to 4 months to get through season 6. And then after season 6, I was able to finish out the series. I think it was like 7 and 8. They had 2 more seasons. But there are times where I come back. There are other times where I just completely stop watching. Like Once Upon a Time, I got up to season 5. I stopped at season 5, and I don't have any passion to go back and finish season 5, 6, and 7.
Well, see, I think it comes down to, it's a bit part of it too of who you're watching it with and everything. As we've got the best crew that we're watching it with and continue to grow that out there. But no, like Game of Thrones, I used to watch it initially with one of my brothers and everything. That was kind of our thing, and would just watch Game of Thrones. And then once that kind of stopped, you kind of fell out of it. Like I said, had the watch parties with the misses and everything like that, and the friends at all the times. And, you order pizza and, you take a bit of the vitamins and you watch The Walking Dead and you wait to see who's going to die, who's going to survive this week and everything like that. That whole aspect, I think, has kind of missing outside of TV, outside of wrestling, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, there were the days, I feel you on that. The days of watch parties, the days of like going back to work and talking with your coworkers. Did you see last night's episode of whatever the show may be? You don't
said, la 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 la. I didn't watch it. La 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 la.
Exactly. Like you don't have that anymore, and it's like, and it's sad. And I feel like some of it is because like binge watching has become popular. Like it has become like a thing where people just like
you get a 6-episode drop at a time.
Yeah, exactly. Like you, and then I've become a creature of habit of waiting until the season ends to watch it. Like the like From, it's about to end its season on Sunday. I cannot wait to watch all 10 episodes after Sunday. But like I have a friend who's been begging me to watch it each and every week, and I'm like, I can't. I need to wait until the season ends. So I've kind of fallen in that trap too.
Fair enough. Well, I'm trying to pull us out of this trap and say hi to the chat again. Guardian Sin, Nick. Oh, I was in Ad Apocalypse until I, let's just say, modded a certain program. Now no ads. No, fair enough. I was worried about you, my guy, because you just randomly popped in the chat of like, what is happening? I'm getting all the ads everywhere. I'm like, he didn't do anything. Trust me, we're very much, we lean on hashtag not sponsored. So I'm like, we didn't do nothing, I swear. Samuel recruiting for his own Wolfpack. Pause. Wolfpack is back. One of the best themes in pro wrestling history is Zion Brookside. Boo.
Ooh, Zion Brookside is taking on, I think, Harley Hudson. That's the thing
So
tonight.
raise your glasses.
We are 50 minutes in, and I am not feeling this.
And you're the TNA guy. And you're the TNA guy.
At all. I mean, I feel like the second hour may do it justice because we do have that big 6-person tag team match. But like
that should be your main event. That should be your main event because I expect that's when you get your amazing reds, you get your high spots, you get your doodads and your fucking flippy doos and everything.
Right.
You're like Joe Dirt at the fucking fireworks store. Your wang doodles, your fucking whippersnaps, and everything like that. You get all your firecrackers popping off with that match.
Yeah, you're absolutely right there.
Now, Ringsider Anthony is in control of TNA Creative. They decided, we've heard you. We've seen the TikToks. We've seen the streams. We've read the tweets. You're in charge of TNA Creative right now. Are you pushing Harley Hudson or are you pushing Xia Brookside?
That's a hard one, but I would only say Xia Brookside because she's been currently featured on TV more. I would then start putting Harley Hudson on TV a lot more, showcasing her wrestling ability, showcasing what
you're just gonna backdoor.
Yes, I'm gonna backdoor it. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. And then if she can rise to the occasion, then we pushing her to that main title scene. So absolutely.
Spaz with a random $2 super chat. Shout out to Boiling Water. You will be missed. Dad joke of the night. But I'm done. Anthony the Walking Dead's ending was 10,000 times better than Fear the Walking Dead's ending. Listen, I don't want to hear about bad endings until we talk about the Sopranos ending. That's one of the shows that I've gone back and rewatched and watched breakdowns on of every episode and everything. And that finale is still disappointing.
Well, I haven't seen the Fear the Walking Dead ending because I stopped at season 3, but the Walking Dead ending was great. The show you just mentioned is one that's on my list to watch because I have not watched that.
Sopranos? Oh my God. I have not watched that yet. Oh, yeah. You need to. Oh, you need to. I say that as an Italian American from the Northeast. You have to watch the Sopranos.
I've only heard good things about it.
Friends.
I've only heard good things about it. So that's definitely, and I know the ending of Everybody Hates Chris took from the Sopranos a little bit. So
I didn't even know there was an ending to Everybody Hates Chris.
Yeah, there was an ending to Everybody Hates Chris. Yeah. So I definitely want to see that. I want to watch the show just because of the finale to see why Everybody Hates Chris took from Sopranos for their
everybody show of hands in the chat right now if you even remember the show Everybody Hates Chris. But no, I would take Harley Hudson because I think clean slate. I think she's somebody that you can get behind, there's no prior attachment to with this, and just beyond my kind of personal disdain for Xia Brookside, I don't think she is as they present. But I think Harley Hudson's somebody that you can mold. I'll take the prospect versus the questionable, 2-year rookie.
And I was hoping that they would really do something with Myla Grace. If there's a match that anybody wants to see with Myla Grace, her versus Ash by Alliance on WSW, they did that like a month or so ago. I think they wrestled 2 nights in a row. Both matches were excellent. And that's when I was like, okay, TNA, you have her. Let's do something with her. And Tommy Dreamer said no. So she's gone. So that was really someone I thought they were going to push. But I agree with you here. Even if I was booking it, I would like you said, backdoor Harley Hudson, get her more on TV, get the crowd behind her. And once she hits that, hey, I think she can do this, I would immediately switch her with Xia Brookside. Yeah, I like Xia Brookside as a face. I'm gonna be honest. I like Xia Brookside more as a face than what we've been getting with a heel. I don't know if it's because of the material that she's been given. I don't know if it's her. That's why I'm like, now that Tommy Dreamer is gone, maybe something will change and maybe it will click. And that's why I want to give it just a little bit longer, but I prefer her as a face right now.
I don't prefer Cyborg side at all, respectfully.
Uh-huh.
But I also think that Danny Luna, like you said, should be like she was going to be somebody that was going to be the flag bearer. She was your next kind of Jordan Grace, I feel, for this knockouts division. Had the same kind of build, had that interesting personality, but it could also, like, there's been matches. Some of Danny Luna's best matches are her leaving like bloodied in the fucking dog collar.
I think that was against Indy Hartwell. Yeah. I think that match was against Indy Hartwell.
Oh, so was it Indy? I thought it was Jody.
Or was it Jody? It might have been Jody. Maybe it was two of them. Maybe it was two type matches way, like
but
that.
She's out there. Yeah. She's hardcore, brother.
Pause. Exactly. No, and they were pushing her very well,
a focal point outside of an Ariana Grace. Like, I don't need you to be questioning the knockouts division and also potentially bringing in a mid-card title into the knockouts division.
Yeah. Unless we're going to do like a retool of the knockouts division, bring in more knockouts, I feel like we'll have better stories soon. It won't be out of the gate, but I don't think it's the right time to bring in a mid-card title.
Yeah, you gotta start signing like 10 people. We haven't even had the knockouts tag titles defended.
Exactly. And we're only down to, I think we had 4 teams. Now we're down to 3. So yeah, we gotta buster, boost the division more.
NEW and TNA just trying to reach to the bottom of their women's tag team division of who can get the lowest.
Exactly.
Leg drop, nobody home.
Oh.
Guardian. Bring this up to KJ because I don't have control if any of this is true, but I've also haven't seen too many other people complain about or bring it up. I'll say. Not seeing her complaining, but bring it up. Of Nick, I did find out through some other YouTube friends that it's on y'all's end YouTube, so they must have just snuck it back door of a setting that we didn't know to turn off or whatever. Recently, in the streamer setting automatically it's in settings, then monetization. Well, fair enough. I don't have access to that personally, but even then, I think it's been a bit sporadically. YouTube's been funky out there with a lot of their stuff. Of they go even still between usernames to profile names and back and forth. But no, we try and do our best. We're the best around.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, you're right, Nick. I think this needs to be brought up to KJ because we have
no. I don't even know. I was like, how do I segue out of this? As the random lights went out.
Yeah, Lei Lee is coming out.
We gotta not only play her music, we gotta do her full entrance.
That was something brought up on Twitter that has to stop.
Who's what now?
That was brought up on Twitter, like wrestlers coming out trying to save other wrestlers and playing their entire entrance in TNA, because that has been a thing.
But not even just like her music or anything, and she comes bolting down to the ring. Which, why didn't she do that? It was just her whole entrance.
Yeah, the lights and everything.
Yeah. I mean, Fetty's the only one who can get away with that because he's literally taking people out as he gets into his fucking post.
Yeah.
I'm
hoping this makes Lei Lee retain at Slammiversary because Brookside got the upper hand by winning that match. So maybe the laws of wrestling will work here. We'll see.
Anonymous saying Anthony's a Nemeth guy. He's a member of the Nemeth.
I like Nick Nemeth. I really do.
Mr. Renegade, good evening, all. What have I missed? Please.
Nothing.
You have missed And by Elegance versus Mara Sade, which was kind of a schmoz about a bunch of nothing. Trust me, you don't want to go look back on that. AJ Francis had a squash match and got into it with Elias. The Hardys and
the System,
all the tag teams in the ladder match had a whole brawl off to kick off the show.
The Great Hands have been added to the title match. Yeah. Ronan says Ash by Elegance is out due to mental health issues. I'm not laughing at the mental health issues. I want to preference that, but I mean, it's the whole thing that went down earlier tonight on the episode.
Well, yeah, no, and it's one of those. It's a bit odd. It's a bit weird. It's a bit out of place and everything like
Yeah,
that. And it's
which
just,
I thought we were done with this. That's what I'm talking about.
All coming off of her being involved with voodoo dolls and everything.
All of this was done at Rebellion
against the puppet.
Like I thought all of this was done at Rebellion. This is what annoys me. Like, why are we running this back? Let me not get upset. Let me not get upset.
There you go. But right now I'm in commercial break. So up next we're getting the World Title Summit.
Yes. I'm over here like praying that, like, I know it won't be overnight, but at least by like mid-August that this like turns around, like for the
I think by the time we get into the fall of,
which would be a lot,
we're gonna have a different view on TNA. Like,
yeah, I feel like
it's gonna be one of those, because think about it, you're gonna have a live episode and then you're gonna have a couple tapings, and they're not gonna completely just gear shift and act like everything that happened before, just wipe your eyes from it, because that's what they've done before and it backfired and snafu'd on them hard.
Yeah.
So they'll transition. I think they're going about this. Like, it's so weird to me that TNA is finally acting like a business, and everyone's like, why the fuck would you act like a business? What do you think you are? A business? That's what the fuck they are.
Right. That's and I don't think fans like realize that this is a business. Things happen, people get let go, people get fired. If you're not doing your job correctly or the way they want you to do it, they're going to let you go. That's just things of that sort. We have had some big departures with wrestlers. Like I haven't got over that Steve Maclin is gone, but wherever he ends up, I please hope it's not in the Don Callis family of 700 members. But I'm still going to follow
number 11 in the 24-man steel cage Hell in a Cell Anarchy and Arena match between Mark Briscoe and MJF.
I hope not. Not at all. I don't want to see that.
Could you see him? Well, and shout out also Peraza, who I think just kind of got banged up too as well in our last match. Do you think they're WWE bound?
Deanna doesn't. So I watched Boots to Boots, and I know you're going to take a pause here, but I watched the last episode of Boots to Boots. Deanna was not happy with her WWE run, and she kind of talked openly about that the other day. It doesn't give me the impression that she'll go back to WWE. Also, it doesn't give me the impression that she'll go back to TNA now that Steve Maclin is gone. I just pray and hope that they begin to use her more in AEW. If not, I know we'll see her on the Indies, and them both cooking it up on the Indies.
You know how you fix something that you weren't happy with? You go back and you try it again and you put your best fucking foot forward on it.
And that's true, because I think she would work.
Steve Maclin, I think her in that women's division, NXT or main roster,
her versus Charlotte
is a fucking huge get. And Maclin in that mid-card division. Now, if you really want to act that there's a mid-card division and you want to add some real kind of shooters and some, guys out there, Maclin out there versus LA Knight, Maclin out there versus Finn Balor, Maclin out there versus a fucking Braun Breaker, if you want to do something like that. Yeah. You got a lot of potential there, I think.
You do. On both ends, you have a lot of potential. And I feel you on that. Deonna Purrazzo versus Rhea Ripley, Deonna Purrazzo versus Charlotte Flair, Deonna Purrazzo versus I feel like Jade has improved a lot, even a Jade Cargill. Like I would like to see those matches.
Oh, absolutely. Well, now you got me coming down with the vapors, but I'll be right back here, sir.
All right. As Nick takes a pause here, we are still on commercial. I do want to click on some comments here that I missed, but Spaz Axe is from is a TV show, if anybody doesn't know. It's From actually good. From is amazing. The first season, top tier. Season 2 was, I don't want to say it was okay. I thought season 2 was good. Season 3, I believe they hit a rebound. And season 3 was excellent. They're currently in season 4. Season 5 is going to be the end. But when it comes to season 4, I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard good things. So I'm excited for that to end this Sunday. And then over the 4th of July holiday, I will be checking out From. Um, Guardian says, I stopped Once Upon a Time at the final season when they reset the story. I heard they did that. And that's kind of why I don't want to go back and finish it, because they reset the story. I don't think I've acknowledged Boston tonight, but Boston says, I find it funny how people say this stuff to Anthony like he books the show or owns the company, all because he's a fan of the company. I like that, Boston. But we are back with TNA. We have a summit. Carlos is involved, and Gia Miller. So let's see what this is all about. Anonymous is asking, who do you think will sign with TNA? So we haven't really talked about it. I don't know if we're going to get to it. I'm so sorry. Excuse me. But Apollo Crews may be on his way to TNA. His name has been brought up on social media. He might be the person challenging the Mustafa Ali for the international title this coming Sunday. Apollo Crews is one. I think we mentioned Dexter Loomis. He's another one. I think he'll show up very soon. So basically, Nick Nimitz just told Mike Santana good luck down the road. He basically said that Mike Santana had a good year. But Mike Santana says, I've been fighting my entire life. He's talking about his life and identifying his father in the morgue. I like when Mike Santana talks about his struggles because you can see how far he's come. Paul says From gets great each season. I agree with you there. Maybe I just personally didn't like season 2, but 1 and 3 were really good. I fully agree with you. It might be just a personal opinion for me with season 3. So Mike Santana says he spent his entire life fighting for moments like this, pointing out the TNA championship, being TNA world champion. Paul Carpenter says WWE wanted Deonna to lose. I didn't know that. I didn't know that at all. So he's talking about Nick Nimitz being on the WrestleMania card, multiple championships, having challengers after challengers. And he's kind of giving Nick Nimitz his props. So he's saying when TNA needed someone reliable when TNA needed a champion that would rise up, it was him. Samuel says, I think you meant to say Santana. I think you meant to say Santana there, but Santana is leaving to go to WWE. I do think that's happening. Anonymous, are you gonna watch Everybody Hates Chris animated sequel? I did, but they haven't brought out new episodes yet. Boston says, I feel like I just saw this same type of promo. We saw this same type of promo with Steve Macklin and Santana. We kind of saw the same thing with Santana and Mustafa Ali as well. It's kind of a regurgitated type promo, so this is nothing different, to be honest. But I do like these style of promos because it makes Mike Santana a lot more vulnerable. He talks about his past, talks about how he's overcame things, talking about, in this case, being that top guy in TNA. So I do like it in that aspect. And I think Russell Rance agrees with me. I can't talk. This was great from Mike Santana. He's so genuinely real and relatable. Absolutely. I mean, while we're watching this summit, which is not a bad summit, this might be the best part of TNA tonight so far. Who y'all got winning on Sunday? Is it Nick Nemeth? Does he take the TNA World Title? Does he become a 2-time TNA World Champion, or does Mike Santana retain? Because we don't know. Is he leaving? Is he not leaving? I think so, but this promo is giving big fight feel. And I think I just kind of repeated what Boston said down here. I like Carlos is there, makes it seem like a big money match. It has brought this feud up. They're both standing up. Carlos is like, we can't have this here. Sean saying good segment by Santana. This is good. Oh, so apparently Carlos said they would be fined if they touched each other, and Mike Santana said cash or check. And he looked at Carlos when he said it. Now Ryan Nemeth is involved as Mike Santana just attacked Nick Nemeth. Oh. Now Nick Nemeth has the upper hand here. Nick Nemeth has the upper hand and takes out Santana, which, we talk about the laws of wrestling. He who goes over on the go home show doesn't win at the pay-per-view. So does Mike Santana retain on Sunday? That's the question now. Does he retain? I agree down here with Boston. He says Santana's winning if they don't do anything else tonight, which nothing else is scheduled for right now, but we still have close to 45 minutes left. Nemeth wins and Santana shows up at Slammiversary. Springwood says, I hope Ziggler wins. I was pulling for Ziggler to win, but this segment may have swayed me just a little bit unless something else happens, tonight. But I like that segment. I really enjoyed that. Best part of TNA so far tonight, because this has not been a good go home show at all. But TNA is on commercial. We got Nick back.
Do you think that Santana, do you only predict that Santana could lose because you worry that he's going to leave the company?
Mainly because of that. I personally don't want him to leave. And it's more because just like the track record right now with how TNA talent is being used in WWE, former TNA talent. I know Joe Hendry had some visa issues, but even before then, when he moved up to the main roster, hasn't been really that good. And we know Jordan Grace.
Fire Logan Paul.
And we know Jordan Grace ain't doing much or nothing but wrestling on main event. So,
but is she not still injured? Is she still recovering from?
No, she's been wrestling on main event. I've watched some of her matches on main event. The last one I watched maybe was like 2 or 3 weeks ago. She took on Kiana James. I think that's her name.
Yes.
Yeah, she took on. It was a part of the tapings that when they were overseas. So it's just like they're not using Jordan Grace at all.
This was a great segment. I like this a lot. Good stuff from Ziggler and Santana. This was shot very well. Well, you said it. They've done their title, situations with Santana really well, going all the way back to probably the best stuff that they did when it was him and Mustafa.
Yeah,
they know how to shoot some shit well. It's just they need to have the creative direction to go with it. And I liked you brought it up of almost the Randy Orton-esque line of, well, I'm going to fine you if you beat him up. All right, so cash your card. Like, do I need to do this in small change or can I pay you in big bills?
Yeah, I like that. That was a pretty fun exchange right there. So yeah, I definitely enjoyed that segment. Probably the best segment tonight because everything in that first hour was not it at all. So
right. Jessica saying, I'm back, guys. Well, I'm back in land. Oh, how Springwood, how do you have a talent like Jordan Grace and not use her? This is why I say that certain talent aren't going to get called up because we already have talent that fans are saying are misused and abused and everything like that. So why do you want to add more to the logjam?
Exactly. I hope they find a way for Jordan Grace to be used. I'm petitioning that when Naomi comes back, they run back the match they had at what was it? Genesis a couple of years ago. Run that back. Naomi champion, Jordan Grace, challenger. I'm pushing for that. For that.
When Naomi comes back, is that going to be as big or bigger than when Bianca comes back?
That's a good question.
The gears turning.
I can't answer it because even when Bianca was still there, Bianca got some of the biggest pops of the night, bigger than the men, right?
Well, she's so talented.
Yeah, when she was there every week, right? I can see it being similar, but as much as I love Naomi, I feel like Bianca got that top edge right there of her coming back to probably one of the biggest pops of whatever year she comes back in, which would probably be late next year.
Well, but it's also when, where, and how they come back.
I feel like Naomi comes back potentially out of Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Bianca Belair can come back anywhere.
That's what I'm saying. It's one of those. Like Naomi can show up as a contestant in a Royal Rumble and you get a big pop.
Yeah.
Bianca could show up and randomly on a Monday Night Raw challenge Rhea, or sorry, that would be in a SmackDown. But yeah, you get what I'm saying.
I mean, Bianca could come back anywhere and she and it's on. Like even at the not the Royal Rumble, but WrestleMania, just to come back to announce that she was pregnant, a big pop, a roar from the crowd because we thought it was going to be her return and it was, something different. So yeah.
Will Ospreay and Dave Meltzer punching air over that whole thing of the fact that Bianca shows up, announces she's pregnant. Huge reaction. Ospreay shows up. I got married and shagged Windsor. Golf clap.
Nothing. Just nothing at all.
Why would you say that, you terrible, terrible man?
But I am going to leave you guys here with Nick for a bit as I take a pause. Let me see if I can get this right. Hold on.
There you go. As Moose out here. Oh, halfway. We're learning. We're getting there. There we go. But yes, Anthony is taking a pause for the causes. I got Moose out here ahead of his no surrender match at Slammiversary versus Eddie Edwards. Boss, I see you. How fitting I click on it now. But back to my comments not getting clicked on. Well, I clicked on you. Quit crying. Santana shows up at SummerSlam. Anthony not Slammer. Well, he can show up at both. It would be interesting to see if, when, where, how, and why you would debut Mike Santana on WWE. Is he not going to get Damien Priest comparables? Respectfully, a little bit. Cooper right now 1-1 USA. Triple H rotates the roster intentionally. Fair enough. Alex Pinto, what up, my guy? What up, guys? Every time I say it now, I say guys like I'm trying to do an impression of someone so great. So many guys, so many gals up in here. We don't have algae in this pool. We don't have any scum out here. We're great. Nice, reflective, clean pool. But Moose out here with Dirty Dango, which I forgot. He wants Dirty Dango respectfully in his corner, who is retired. So, again, for everybody that thinks that the Bloodline storyline's rehashed, we just got Jacob Fatu brought into the fold and taken over as right-hand man and all of that, and trying to win over Solo to no effect. Meanwhile, we've got the Death Riders that are still love it or hate it, and I really kind of hate it, of at least our the team behind Ospreay going towards the world title. I think that there could be something with Shafir, etc. The system is just floating of even with Moose paired with, or Alicia paired with Moose, I just like it when she was supposed to be a babyface. Like Eddie Edwards, to me, respectfully and fully, is worse than Jon Moxley. Like I would rather watch a Jon Moxley match than an Eddie Edwards match at this point. Right now, in the year of our Lord 2026, mark it, jot it down. Someone can pull up me saying this during a Dynamite stream or something. But I would rather watch a Jon Moxley match than an Eddie Edwards match right now. Nick, is the system the greatest TNA modern faction? The fact that you might be right. It might be the best and the worst. Because at one point, it was great. At one point, it was good. But it's just overstayed its welcome. So you're not wrong. You might be right. And what else would be a big modern faction in TNA? The Order 4, I don't think they've reached the same heights as the system. Aces and Eights, I don't know if I'd even count them quite modern. They're early 2000s-ish, mid 2000s. So you're not wrong. They are the best of times and the blurst of times fully out here. So I'll just eyeing up fit. Dango's got to spit out the gum. Brandon, what's the current arc for the Death Riders? Because I'm confused. Nobody knows, and I don't think they know. They're supposed to be baby faces, but they're also heels. But they lose matches that they shouldn't and win matches that they shouldn't. And they're helping teach up the guy whose neck they broke. And instead of Swerve and Ospreay competing over, oh, I deserve the title shot. No, I deserve the title shot. They're competing over animosity that's built up and made up and fabricated. So yeah, it's a hodgepodge of a whole lot of nothing. It's very much, I drew a blue duck because I've never seen a blue duck. And I want to see a blue duck. That's what the Death Riders kind of feel like. What the? You're going to lose your daughter? What the fuck is this? So Alicia pipes up, but we're not talking about my daughter. This got way weird, way fast. Am I wrong with this? Did I not know a story? Does Anthony know a story I don't that's going around with Eddie and Alicia's daughter or anything that needs to be involved in this feud? We're just doing insider baseball shit just because we can do insider baseball shit. Like, no, I've never been a fan of Tommy's booking all the way to Ken House or Hardcore. So this is the dying breath of hopefully Tommy's booking in TNA, but this is not good. Like, you want revenge? Do it. Hit me like a man. Oh, like Ospreay and Swerve's promo was 10 times better than whatever the fuck this is. Honestly, like I know Anthony kind of fell out of love with tonight's episode. This is, to me, and Moose is now backing down with it. This got really awkward and really fucking weird for no reason. Like, weirdly, stupidly personal out of nowhere. And Eddie's hiding behind Alicia because Alicia's the fucking badass. Like, Oh, this is hurting me. Like, what did she just say that now Moose has to be held back from? We were bringing up people's daughters out of nowhere, completely out of pocket, out of nowhere. And I don't know what Alicia just said that set off Moose, but this promo can go away, fade away, and become obsolete. Obsolete. Oh my God, just fucking end this. It's gonna be a funeral. Moose was a guy that at one point was taking on Obafemi, and you believed it was a holy shit, who could win? That was a fucking highlight match. Right now, Moose is getting. This man got septic, got rabies or something. I don't know out here. This is a guy people thought. I know he's got the 5 lifetimes Scientology contract with TNA, but he's a guy that people wanted to see what he could do. Like, he was trying to bark up to Roman Reigns at one point, and now he's getting dogged down and walked down by Alicia Edwards. What the fuck are we doing? I'm all fine with it being a personal feud as we're getting a Ricky Sosa package. I'm all fine with all of that, but the random weird bringing up the Edwards' daughter and not, to my knowledge, following through with that or explaining why that was a thing. I entirely missed what Alicia said that made Moose snap after she pretty much walked him down and walked him out of the ring saying, be a man and do it. You got an issue with me? Hit me. Weird as shit. Yeah, it screams outdated wrestling. It screams doesn't work to new viewers, to regular viewers. It just, am I out of base with this? Did anyone enjoy that? Did anyone make sense of that? Am I missing something with what happened with all of that? Isn't this Delirious Spoken Anonymous? No, this is, he's about to take over, and I think there's somebody else that they added, I can't remember his name, to the team. This is the last of the tapings. These were taped before Tommy was told to take a hike, before he went on and cried on Busted Open and said it was a mutual passing of, no, he got told to take a hike. But up next, we got the 6-man tag match. So what are we, is this the main event? We're going to give this a half hour. I wouldn't be mad at it. Trying to think if there's anything else that's advertised for tonight. No, we already had that. Or that got moved around. That's Darkness. Go and get your merch today out there, 100%. And we do also have the not tagging out the Wrestling with Mental Health merch out there. Be a friend, tell a friend. That 100% of the proceeds to that go to mental health charities, nonprofits, and we've got all the merch out there, all the new vibes, all the summer kicks, and trust me, right now, pro wrestling, especially on Twitter, feels like it's the season of pre-med. So go get your pre-med merch. If I can find the slide there, go and get your pre-med merch, 100%. Because everybody out there, when it comes to pro wrestling right now, feels like they're very much pre-med. We've got people already crashing out before the match at Night of Champions has already happened. I've already worried about what's going to happen in the next 2 months out here. But be a friend, tell a friend. Get your merch out there, and make sure you hit like, share, and subscribe as I find the program button. There we go. Yes, no. I appreciate everybody that's out here again. TNA, the TNA streams are growing, much like TNA's interest is growing out here of popping off. And again, TNA very much, there is a reason why, and not just for a fucking grift and not just for a clickbait title, that people really kind of invested into TNA once they got their TV deal. Because there was the potential. There is still the potential that's kind of untapped. But there was very much the avenue to where they could make an actual impression and not kind of get out of that low TNA avenue. Alan, I see you. Ronan, Leon, Fabian Eichner, and Casey Navarro for the win. Got you. Yes, let me get to that slide. Backtrack. Yeah, so that's the match that we got left. So that is your main event of the evening right now, is with a half hour left, is your 6-man tag match. Your competitors for the Ultimate X match minus Amazing Red, which Anthony kind of called, and could still get involved in this match. But yeah. Nick, if TNA isn't careful, Moose will be going to WWE next at this rate. But is he damaged goods at this point? Like, right now, Moose's value is nowhere near the same of when he was out there challenging Oba around WrestleMania 40 with Stand and Deliver and all of that. We're 2 years, 3 years after that, and Moose is standing. His value is, as a trade asset as anything, is not the same, respectfully. I could see it being a thing, but he's on that Jericho lifetime deal kind of contract. That was one of those that they advertised and bigged it up of. He's signed like 9-year deal. Road Dogg has taken over. It might actually be the best thing for TNA. But also, again, it's not going to happen instantaneously. You're going to see a pivot. You're going to see a problem. Maybe, hopefully, by the time we get to Lethal Lockdown, we'll start to really kind of see a shift. But we'll see. Santino all the way. Santino every day. TNA has the issue of it has too many authority figures. It has too many authority figures, but who really has authority? Tommy's saying he doesn't have authority. Carlos doesn't look like he has authority. Santina and Daria fighting over who has authority. So who really has authority in that company? Turkey 2, USA 1. Yeah, so we're getting the updates out there. So how much left in time? Christ, I know I could just probably pull it up, but I'm getting the hype up video for TNA being in Boston. Which, Boston, shout out, why didn't you try and snatch up some tickets out there to Slammiversary? But yeah, so how much left in match time? Moose ain't gonna sniff WWE. He's like 45. If they wanted him, he would have been there. I don't think he's that old, but I do get a bit of what you're saying. Of like, I think it's passed it by a little bit. Like, where would he? Moose right now would be dropped into NXT. Being honest. I don't know if he would. If he shows up straight on the main roster, he's mid-card. He's an open challenge guy. He's a Rumble guy. Eichner gets a dark entrance. Weird. Casey very much seems like the guy that they're pitching. Of Casey's a guy who we should have mentioned earlier about a guy who could be a future TNA World Champion, because I think that they're very much kind of getting behind him and trying to push him quite a bit, especially if Santana are going to leave. As Leon coming out right now. Which I know that there's a back and forth discourse going on of he's going to AEW, he's going to WWE. I don't really see why AEW right now would feel like they have the advantage of signing him, seeing how he's already done the NXT runs. He's done a good bit with WWE. I think that they will I don't want to say overpay, but they know the talent, they know the prospect that they have with Leon Slater. Tony would just have to overpay, dare I say, for Leon, and then so he goes the Kevin Knight route. He's callous at the malice. I think right now Leon could be Javon 2.0, could be SmackDown's version of that, and I think he's supremely talented and could break out on his own in that way. He has the personality, he has the charisma on the mic and everything. Boston, they brought on LA Knight when he was hitting 40. So yeah, fair enough. There's DDP was a guy that was in his 40s. I want to say Batista's the guy too that were late in their prime, late in their days, and still got brought on and pushed major. As right now, Kazarian and Leon in the ring right now. Spring, the Fed needs to go young. I hate using the term the Fed. It's like the dub or like whatever AW equivalent you want to go with it. The Fed. Sorry, but I get you, but just it's one of those. You see it so much on Twitter. You're like, needs to go younger, not staying with the champs in their 40s. So when Obo wins versus Roman, we all going to be good. We all fine. We all happy with that. We all go with that. Or we're going to crash out and say, they did too much too fast. They did this, they did that, and everything. I love seeing the arguments of WWE needs to change it up. They changed it up. Why the would you go and do that? Like that's, yeah. There's no pleasing at times with certain wrestling fans. But I do get that there is a lull across the board a bit of like, tonight hasn't been good. The Dynamite weekly shows haven't been good. Of certain promotions are starting to become more pay-per-view companies than weekly companies. And the summer malaise haze of the World Cup very much might be a part of it. But still at the same time, you see shows to where people are losing their minds and reacting and chanting the whole time with it. And you see people online that'll act like they didn't see it, that they don't hear it. That's where I kind of lose faith in some of that. Like, all due respect, there's other content creators that I know that will, say the Bloodline storyline's passe, it's run, it's course, it's redundant and everything. But every time they're on screen, the crowd's chanting, the crowd's singing along and everything. Like, I don't know what to make of that. Like, they paid to be there and they're cheering. Meanwhile, I got Meltzer out there blaming AW fans for not cheering. So what are we doing? To quote KJ. Russ Rance, I think LA was 37 or 38. And he was doing the maximum male models BS before he was LA. Well, no, he was LA, and then he switched over to Maxine. Or Maxine, yeah. Trying to remember his male model name. Pause. Sorry. So at least he was there. We're arguing over ages. Listen, age is but a number. As Elegance dumps on the outside. Sorry. I'm going very Canadian. Sorry. You're fine. I've been saying this for the last few years. I don't know why Moose is not with a big promotion. I've liked what I've seen from him. The Moose is on the loose, and Anthony's back at it like a jackrabbit. How do you feel? Moose he's stuck with TNA for the long way.
Yeah, I think Moose is. I know people say like WWE lifers and TNA lifers and things of that sort. I think Moose is TNA heavy, TNA lifer. I don't see him going anywhere else. They could have kept that segment though. That was not good.
Trash.
That was not good.
Hear me and hear me good. That shit was a 2-pack of ass. I'll quote Joe Budden with that.
I thought I didn't even I wasn't even paying attention. That's how bad it was.
Well, I was hoping. I was like, do you get why they brought up their daughter randomly? I don't know what Alicia said that got Moose all hot and bothered. I still thought it was weird with her of like, be a man, hit me. What in the trailer trash?
That's weird.
What?
That's weird. Number one. Number two, no, I don't know why they brought up, their daughter. I don't know why that was brought up. That segment was not it at all.
How many online actually attends the shows? Very few and far between. There are some that's their whole personality. That's their whole content creation is that they bought tickets. Cool. That takes so much talent to buy things. Cool. Good on you. But I digress. But yeah, there is very much, I think, a disconnect, and you can correct me where you think I might be wrong, of fans on Twitter specifically versus what I see when I watch shows. I understand tonight has been great. Dynamite as of late has been great. But there's so many people that I see that bitch about this, complain about this, say this isn't over, this is redundant. Yet when I see the paying audience, they're fucking screaming along, singing along, Roman Reigns, Roman Reigns, but the bloodline's not over. Jey Uso can't wrestle, but we're booing Obafemi because he tried to shut down Jey Uso running back his entrance.
I think the problem with wrestling fans is they begin to learn terms and just use them and they don't know how to use them. Just because you may not
have the day word.
Exactly. Just because you may not like the bloodline doesn't mean that they're not over. So using the term "they're not over" because you don't like them does not make sense. You cannot like them. You can feel like it's repetitive, but when facts comes to facts, when you say that they're not over, you're lying through the skin of your teeth, right? I'm not really a fan of them running back the bloodline storyline. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm not saying that they're not over. I'm just saying that I personally don't like them seeing it ran back, but that doesn't mean they're not over, right? Also, the same thing when it comes to Jey Uso. He's over, but we can all admit that I don't want to say all. I can admit that he's not a great wrestler. So, he may be over, but he's not the best wrestler. I think fans learn terms and think they're smart and starts to use those terms in the wrong manner.
Because I think that those are two different discussions and people lump them together when it comes to Jey Uso. I think it is a bit of people parrot one another because they don't want to actually entertain and have the discussion like you and I. I'm fully fine if you think that the bloodline is repetitive, what have you. I'm willing to have that discussion about it. Of that people won't want to have that discussion. Instead, I'll just parrot what the next person said. I'll go along to get along versus what my ears tell me, what my eyes tell me, all of that. Because I get that the bloodline is, again, a thing, but I think it's a new version. It's a new book. It's a new chapter.
Yeah, no, and I feel you on that. I do think it's like a new chapter for the bloodline too. I just fear that it's going to I do feel like it's repeated itself a little bit here. I just fear that.
Are you mad before you know what's going to happen?
And I'm not mad. I'm not mad about anything. I'm rarely mad about things that go on in wrestling. The last time I was severely mad about something is when Taker lost to Brock, and I swore I would never watch wrestling again. And here I am, 10 plus years later, still watching wrestling, right? I don't really get mad. I just tend to tune out when it's just something I don't like. And that's what I've been doing. Like I'll tune into Raw and SmackDown when I see like the women's match. Like I tuned in, last week SmackDown when I think Liv took on Charlotte. I tuned into that match. This week I tuned in to the women's match that was on Raw. So I'll tune into things that I don't like, that I like. But when there's things that I don't like, I won't pay attention. But I won't get on social media.
There's a lot to like on Monday Night Raw. You got the bloodline out there that's now got Jacob Fatu as your right-hand man, and how we do with that. We've got Obafemi versus Jey Uso for the King of the Ring. Obafemi's out there getting running amok. You've got Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker. You've got now the Street Profits as your new tag champs. Liv Morgan. Now is she going to be like double champ? Is she going to go after Rhea after she wins Queen of the Ring? I think there's a lot to like. I think it's more of just, to me personally, a lot of people just want to parrot other people on social media because, and I'm not saying you or anybody specifically, but I think there's a lot of people that you see on social media that just, it becomes an echo chamber. Because when I watch the shows, I see a lot of stuff I enjoy. I don't want to sit there and watch a show and intentionally not like it. I see a lot of stuff that the crowd's getting reactions for. I don't see anybody complaining like Dave Meltzer was saying the crowds don't get up for a WWE show.
Yeah, I mean, I get your point. I get your point because there is like a cesspool online where people just dog mess over a lot of things. But for me personally, like I'll tune into the show, but I won't pay attention to the things I'm not interested in.
No,
and
that's fine.
I'm not saying like I dislike them or anything like that. I'm just saying like for me, there's just certain things I just don't like. And I'm not going to go on social media and be like, this is bad, this is trash, this is stupid, they need to do this, that, and like, that's not me. I'll just tune into what I like, talk about what I like, and then leave the rest behind.
And another day and another time, we could have this whole conversation, but I think it's very much, at least with us and with our kind of congregation up there, of willing to have the discussion. Of a lot of Twitter and a lot of social media feels like just people yelling out of open windows, and don't want to exactly welcome a conversation back. I think we very much encourage that. I would rather let's find a mutual understanding instead of no, I'm right and you're wrong. No, I'm right and you're wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. There's never common ground. It's just, it's always bickering, it's always fighting, it's always like you say, you're right, I'm wrong, or whatever the case may be. Yeah, it's definitely that. And that's why I don't talk to these folks in the IWC because they're cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. So
this is why we got the WFU out there.
Right.
Oh, that why did Cass look like he hit the move but took the L with that? What?
It looks like he was trying to hit the blockbuster and Eichner had to do something to make it look like he reversed it.
Yeah, we didn't quite get it. We got half.
Yeah, we didn't quite get there.
Oh, your favorite guy,
KC. Oh God, not Mr.
Yeah, Elegance. That's who. It took you a minute.
Not Mr. Elegance.
Well, it's somebody said with the whole potential new women's mid-card title, and Mr. Elegance will be your inaugural champion.
I saw that, and that cracked me up because if Tommy was still there, I could definitely see it.
James Ellsworth all over again.
Right.
Oh, Paul's got a long one. One problem in the wrestling world I keep saying is there's no star power, there's no Rocks, there's no Cenas, there's no Undertakers. Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, MJF, Obafemi, should I go on? Cody Rhodes.
Even though he gets on my nerves.
There's 5 just off the top of my head.
I'm so trying not to dislike Cody Rhodes because I really like him. I really like Cody Rhodes
over here. Hey, tastes good.
It's given the whole reason why I dislike John Cena and just continuing pushing Cody Rhodes, and like it's getting tiring. It's definitely getting tiring. That's why I tuned in to SmackDown last week at the beginning to see if Gunther was going to take the title. I was hoping, and he didn't.
And then we ran it back for no reason.
Say that again.
I said, and then we ran it back for no reason.
For no reason. We did the Jey Uso run it back for us to have the same outcome. So,
And just worse.
Right.
Oh, Cedric with a Death Valley driver. But also, there's no Kings. There's no mainstream celebrity type wrestlers. You mean Z-Bros don't work for you, bro? John Cena. Well, John Cena was just kind of there. But I mean, Drew McIntyre at this point, he's away because he's allegedly getting so many Hollywood offers that he can't find time to wrestle. Like there's
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. You're good. That was a cheap move by Mr. Elegance. I'll say that.
Oh.
But Slater gets pinned.
Nah. Hey.
Slater gets pinned. So I thought this was going the full 10 minutes, but I guess they got something else up their sleeve for the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, but so Leon hits the Swanton 450, but then gets rolled up by Kazarian.
Right. I mean, I was gonna say best match of the night, but they didn't really follow much of anything. I'll say I did enjoy it.
Yeah, I did enjoy it. Over on the go home show means goes under on the pay-per-view.
So,
like you said earlier, with Nick Nemeth, which does Nick Nemeth win? And Santana, Leon, they both are they about towards the back nine?
Well, I mean, for the world title scene, Nick Nemeth went over. So does unless they do something here in the next 10 minutes, so does Mike Santana.
They are getting more in the next 10 minutes.
They are doing something in the next 10 minutes. Okay. So Nick Nemeth comes up.
Right.
He says he has a medical update on the TNA world champion Santana. So we'll find out what that is.
Oh boy. But Paul, to answer your statement there, I think that there is very much some crossover talent and a bit of looking through history through rose-tinted glasses when it comes to stuff like that. Of like, well, there's no Cena. Well, they're kind of still actively performing and like not near retirement. So let them go right now. Like, I'm not going to call like a rookie that just got drafted in the NFL. Well, they're not Emmitt Smith. Like, what the fuck is that analogy? What? Let him grow into this.
Now, speaking of Cena, what's up with this tournament? He comes out, announces a tournament, and it's been radio silent.
I don't know. Are they trying to figure it out? When's it going to happen? I thought it was going to be around the summer. I hadn't even thought about it because, again, they hadn't mentioned it since he mentioned it.
Yeah, they haven't said a thing. I mean, and I already wasn't a fan of the concept when they said like the winner of the tournament may not be crowned champion. And I'm like, then why are we having a tournament?
Zack Ryder's just yes.
Like this is given is booked by a kindergartner because like if you win the tournament, you should win the championship. Not you can win the tournament, but the fans got the power to vote and you might not be champion. Then what are we having the tournament for?
Did you ever had a dream that you thought you had that you think you thought you had? It's well, and you can't do tournament on tournament after you just had the King and Queen of the Ring tournament.
Maybe that's something that leads to Survivor Series. I don't know. Maybe that's because he retired around Survivor Series. It was 2 weeks after Survivor Series, so maybe that's something they do in the fall. I don't know.
Oh no! If there is a wrestler that's retired that you would associate, I think in the fall would be Taker, because Taker debuted at didn't Taker debut at a Survivor Series?
He debuted at a Survivor Series, retired at a WrestleMania.
No. He technically retired like 2 weeks afterwards on like a
on the last ride,
something like that. Yeah,
on the last ride on his show, The Last Ride. But I mean, I feel like that's the only place you can fit that tournament is around that time, because if you don't, you're thinking, okay, we're coming up on Royal Rumble season again. I can't believe we're talking about that because that's like 6 months away. But you're coming up on Royal Rumble season again, and then you're coming up on WrestleMania.
You build that into like the holiday season and everything, like that's around like Christmas when you're you might be strapped for booking and creative or anything, and that's a way to get engagement of, hey, if it's based on viewers' votes, like I hate that you brought this up because I didn't want to acknowledge that it ever existed ever again because it wasn't good to begin with. You can have that. That ain't what I'm mad at. But
yeah, but I can see
around the holidays of just that's your way to spark engagement because you ain't got shit else.
I can see that happening because while someone is like massively spamming the chat right now,
you're gonna get a minute.
But yeah, I can see that happening. I can see that happening because they like to have like the first episodes of Raw and SmackDown of the year. They like to have big moments. So maybe they set the tournament up for that time period, and you have the finals, the ending on a Raw or a SmackDown the first of the year, because that's when SmackDown goes back to 3 hours. Because I think what it's like 6 months 3 hours, 6 months 2 hours, and I think they go back to 3 hours, at the beginning of January. So you can do something like that. I would rather not see the tournament at all, but that's just me personally.
Yeah, well, you can have that. That's what. Well, everybody. I guess Jessica was out there hard in the pain of agreeing with you of dub to where she had to go take a rub and a dub in a tub. Pause. Over Estina, I can't get over that comment right now. Who said that?
I was about to repeat that. Who said that too?
Who said that? Who said that? Is it me or does Anthony look like that guy that freaked out in the arena when Brock Lesnar pinned the Undertaker?
Paul, it's just you. I definitely do not look like him. It's just you, Paul.
You have a hat. You're not wearing a white t-shirt or anything. There's a difference between Drew McIntyre being a bad guy in the background and then The Rock in the rundown. What is the difference? Did the Dwayne get Academy Award nominations for the fucking rundown? Like, what are we talking about out here? We're trying to sit there and split fucking acting credentials right now of pro wrestlers. How about we worry about what's in the ring? I don't need to worry about their Screen Actors Guild card. Let's worry about the wrestling aspect of wrestling. How about that?
Right?
Catch me outside. How about that?
All right, so we got Nick in the ring, said he's gonna give us some breaking news.
Even though Batista has been voted the best actor, post wrestler over Dwayne, over Cena,
I can get with that because Batista has made some, like, I don't want to say interesting movies. He just has a variety of roles that he has done.
He can play. He has range as an actor.
Exactly.
Oh, I skipped the super, whatever, the super duper, the super soaker. Spaz with $2. Don't say it. Jada Pinkett Cargill. Oh no, because she still had hair, so you can have that. Keep Jade Cargill's name out your motherfucking mouth.
I saw on social media today that it's been 10 years since the infamous slap happened. And I'm like, it's been 10 years? Like, I feel like that was wrong.
Has it been 10 years? Did we just lose time in like the fucking crossover? What timeline are we in now?
I felt like that slap happened like 10 years ago. I mean, I'm sorry, 2 years ago.
Yeah. At least during the 20-aughts. At least during, lethal lockdown globally.
Right.
Santana busted up, dragging out Ryan.
Right. They're definitely wrong. It happened in 2022. I knew you can't believe everything you read on the internet.
There you go.
In 2022, the slap. I'm like, I know it was like a couple of years ago.
And Carlos trying to get out here, go do some shit. Santino trying to break stuff up. So
yeah,
this is at least the best you could do to try and sell me on why I should give a shit about your world title feud. Because I already didn't like the Nemeth Cup and all of that.
Got to separate them. Nick Nemeth trying to break away.
Taria always looks like she's like the opening act for a Lady Gaga concert. And I don't like it. Ra 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 ma ma ra ma ra ma ma.
No, you're right. And why is she in there trying to break them apart?
She would work better, honestly, if she could do it. And I'm not trying to say that any talent needs to get in the ring if they don't want to get in the ring. Her in the knockouts division right now would be a knockout champion.
Would do wonders. Like just adding her in there. Like would do wonders. I agree with you there. Oh, Mike trying to break away.
Tell me when I'm telling lies. TNA is what MLW would be if they had a budget. Like if they had a TV deal a little bit, because like Santana out here, he damn near looks like Cross when he won the belt with the fucking busted hair and the ramen hairline and everything. Like that needs to be the crossover. That needs to be the Forbidden Doors, MLW and TNA.
And TNA, I would love to see that. All right. Well, I guess that's the end of TNA. Mike Santana standing tall, even though they didn't touch one another.
Now, granted, the blood on his face looks a little weird. He looks like he, took second place in a cherry pie eating contest.
No, agreed. Yeah, it looks like he just smeared it on his face.
He got ketchup on his face. He got ketchup on his face.
He's got a little ketchup on his face.
This man needed to learn how to eat fries.
But yeah, I think we're at the end. Yeah, they're showing the logo there.
Touchstone Pictures. When the fuck have you ever seen that? If you haven't lived in the 90s of Touchstone Pictures, just
so long ago.
Yeah, but speaking of ketchup, I think we're putting the fries in the bag tonight, my guy. Those are the boomer terms that I know. Hello, fellow youths.
I can say that I'm happy that this was the last episode with Tommy Dreamer booking, because I'm trying not to be mean, but my rating is like at a stone cold 4.
Oh, that might be your lowest booking.
I'm wavering between 4 and 5.
It's so hard to say goodbye to.
I'm wavering between 4 and 5 because I did like the main event match and I did like the ending there. It made you feel something for the main event match at Slammiversary, but everything else in between, outside of the sit down between Nick and Santana, was not good. And yeah, I think I'm gonna stick with my 4. Sometimes you have to be brutally honest. I'm not going 5. That was a 4 episode.
I don't know how I fight with you. I'm getting more excited in the fact that I'm getting the start of Gone in 60 Seconds out here. Queen Valley up and Queen Valley down. I'm more excited for Nicolas Cage right now than anything I got in TNA. And this is where that time slot becomes an issue. You're squeezed in between movies.
This was not good.
Tommy, we hardly knew you, or actually we knew you quite well because you're up there for 8-9 years, but so long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, goodbye. Of now, this feels like the dawning of a new age for TNA.
Yeah.
For good or for bad.
Yeah, I think tonight was a closed chapter. I'm glad it was a closed chapter. Do not reopen that book. Leave it. Do not reopen that chapter. Let's start anew. Yeah, I just have to be brutally honest. It was not great at all. And usually I can find some type of good in it to try to push it to maybe a 6 or 6.5. I just can't. That opening segment with the Hardys, I liked when the Hardys came out to talk. I liked when the Righteous came out to talk. The System came out and ruined it. We talked about the Elegance, whatever that was. Yeah. AJ Francis, it was a squash match. We knew that was going to happen. The thing that happened between him and Elijah after, the little exchange of words, I thought that was good, but none of that pushes the envelope to a 5.5 or 6. It just doesn't. You had 4 matches on the card. The only match that was good was that pre-main event 6-man X Division showcase before the Ultimate X match at Slammiversary. This was just not good at all.
Which you didn't even need everything that you had after that. Like, this was just not good.
Yeah. But I mean, Dreamer had to go, because if this is just telling that if they didn't let him go, we were going to get the same stuff after Slammiversary. Like if they and it goes back to what Steve Macklin said. He was like, the lead up to Slammiversary has been bad, but the wrestlers are going to go out there and kill it. And I think we're going to have some great matches. We just don't have meaningful stories behind those matches. I'm excited for I was about to say Amazing Red's return.
Amazing Red.
Yeah, I'm excited for his return. I am excited for the world title match. I think that'll be fun between those two, something that we haven't seen before. And I think some of the other matches will deliver, but tonight was a go home. Tonight was worse than Dynamite, and I barely paid attention to Dynamite.
Tonight put the go home in a go home show.
Yeah.
Because they made us want to go home pretty much from the jump with this. But I'm apparently shooting strays at Lady Gaga, 0 out of 10, because Nick thinks Oba's on Cena's level. I don't even recall saying that. Moment of disillusion. 4.5 out of 10. Show for me, honestly, think could have been better for a house show. Ooh. Our real rating is 5 out of 10.
Yeah.
Now that's a Forbidden Door, MLW, and TNA and NWA. All the A's, all the M's, all the W's.
Right. I would like to see MLW, what we mentioned earlier, though, MLW and TNA. I think that would be cool. Like something they did something together.
Oh, absolutely. Whoa. Yeah. 4 out of what? 4 out of 10.
4 out of 10.
But I kind of can't really dispute being with you there on that. There was a lot, like, especially with the whole Moose segment. That's where you had your jumping off moment earlier in the night. And the Moose system segment, that's where I was like, and we're done here. All right, I've seen enough of. And again, we're not afraid to say a spade's a spade, and they haven't been great lately. This is the reason why it wasn't a mutual partnership or a mutual party.
Yeah,
this is why Tommy was crying out there for 5 minutes on Busted Open.
And speaking of that, I want to touch on that real quick. I won't be long, but we talked about this guy last week, Negative BQ. And in one of his episodes in his podcast, he was like, I listened to Tommy Dreamer cry for 7 minutes and I had to turn that mess off.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just, but yeah, you're absolutely right what you just said beforehand. Like I can, and as much as I love TNA, I can sit here and admit this hasn't been good. And usually, with the second hour coming around, they usually pick up some type of pace, and I can pick out some moments that I was like, okay, I can push this up to a 7. I know a couple of weeks ago there was, I was at a 6, and then they did something in the second hour, which I was like, I like that. I kind of pushed it up to a 7. But tonight was just like, I came in here tonight, like I was attending a funeral, because I knew this was the last episode under Tommy Dreamer. So I wasn't excited about it. I haven't really even touched on any type of TNA content on my own personal social medias outside of the channel. I came in tonight thinking this was going to be a funeral episode, and what it was. It was laying Tommy Dreamer's creative to rest. And they just had to push through this. And I do have high hopes for what happens after Slammiversary, even though I do know it won't be immediately felt. So it may be some rough patches, but I think we're going to be on the road to some potential greatness soon.
Hey, it'll be a rough ride out there. It's dark and hell is hot. Ain't no sunshine when he's gone.
Right.
But Eric saying 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10. I would have loved to see Sammy Callahan as a booker. See, that's just one thing that I wanted to run by you. Do you think that Steve Macklin saying, I told that cuck I quit, quote unquote, from Steve Macklin on a Wrestling Revolver show, really kind of, that was the final nail in the thanks, Sammy, but no thanks of you can have that. That ain't even what I'm mad at. We're not going to even give you a chance, because he should have been the guy.
Yeah, I feel like that it was, and I'm sorry, I'm fumbling my words tonight because I've been training most of the day at work, so I can't talk. I barely have a voice.
Don't worry, I fumble them just because it's me. So yeah.
I feel like that may have been like the catalyst. Like, I feel like they may have given Sammy a chance, but having Steve Macklin come out and say what he said on Wrestling Revolver may have been the icing on the cake. Yes, did I want to see Sammy as the booker? Absolutely, and I think Sammy could have did miles above. Sometimes over the past like week or so since he's been released, I've like prayed to God and be like, can you change Carlos's mind and bring back Sammy? Because I think he would do miles great in TNA. But that's
he
not
heard
what
you just kept thinking it was Sami Zayn
exactly.
Callahan.
But I think I'm sad that Sammy is gone. Sammy Callahan is gone. I'll say that. I wasn't thrilled about it. I thought he could bring something to creative, and clearly TNA thought otherwise. So,
well, Damien out here asking you to bring something. Come on stream Sunday, Anthony, because I wasn't here for Rebellion, because I was there. You don't have to stay for the other two pay-per-views. Yeah, you just be here for Slammiversary. You can leave me and KJ and suffer through the rest of everything.
I am here for Slammiversary. I will be here for Slammiversary. I won't be here for the other two, but I will be here for Slammiversary. I have to represent TNA. I don't think I've only missed one TNA pay-per-view, and that was Bound for Glory last year. I was on my sabbatical from the channel because I had some mental things going on, some family things, but I've only missed one pay-per-view from my knowledge, and that was Bound for Glory last year. So
there you go here, folks. We're announcing it even before TNA announces their surprise appearances and everything. Of Anthony will be here, the three-headed monster, the trios tag stream champions out there for Slammiversary, and then hey, you get me and KJ for the rest of Great American Bash and Forbidden Door.
Absolutely, absolutely.
But I would like to see Sami Z in WWE. Why? When you said Sami Z, I thought of two things. I thought of Sunny D, and I thought of Vitamin C of As We Go On, we ma'am.
Sunny D is hilarious.
Thank God no more Tommy Dreamer. Yeah, do you have any shaman? Do you have any, last thoughts? Do you have a eulogy for the end of Tommy Dreamer's reign of creative in TNA?
If I can put it in maybe like two short sentences, this may be a run-on sentence. I don't know, but thank you, Tommy Dreamer, for getting us this far. But it's time for TNA to find someone different to take us to the next level.
Ashes to ashes, dust to dust, as we stick Tommy Dreamer's booking in the Earth's crust.
Exactly.
But yeah, we got a tie game. I don't know. I'm not going to rope you into staying in for World Cup out here. But folks, that does it as we're late in the evening on a Thursday out here. Back at it like a jackrabbit. Tomorrow, Friday Night SmackDown again. Live at their regular time, no spoilers of their airing it at 7:30 or their airing it at 8. We'll be here at 7:30. And then Saturday, Night of Champions. Sunday, the marathon of Slammiversary, Great American Bash, and Forbidden Door. Be a friend, tell a friend. Final thoughts, final eulogies.
Ditto to what?
Kiss the casket now.
Ditto to what Nick said. Be here all weekend for the massive wrestling shows. Be back next week for the fallout of all those wrestling shows.
Yeah.
But end of Tommy Dreamer's era. I am excited to see what happens next. Be here for SmackDown tomorrow. Be here for the rest of the weekend. Nick, take us home.
Our shit is real. Our shit is raw. Our shit is authentic. When you're talking about that wrestling, what about that for life with it?
See you tomorrow for SmackDown.